Welcome back to the Loose Nut Printing channel. In this video, we're going to be designing, printing, and mounting up the fuel tank and the sim battery box. So sit back and enjoy. So now with the basic shape of the fuel tank done, we can now start getting some more of the details. And one of the big details you always see on a large fuel tank is the straps that hold it down to the tank. So we're just going to figure out where we're wanting them, and with them located, now we can simply add them. And the easier way to do this, I've thought of when I was doing these, instead of trying to draw out all the shape and whatnot of this fuel tank, just make a copy of the exterior profile and just drag it on over, and each time you want it there, you just add a new layer. I think it's called with SketchUp. And now with the straps in the right location, we can make sure that they're not going to collide with anything. And as you can see, the electronic tray, we have to trim back the one to make sure that it will not interfere with the electronic tray. And with it being underneath the cab like it is, you will never notice it in photos and stuff. Trying to keep the scale look of this truck as much as possible. Always something that I like to do is as scale as humanly possible with these trucks. So now with the straps done, where you can add the fuel fill. And this is one place I kind of messed up. The size that I did, kind of wish I went a little bit bigger than what I actually done. But it will work. He'll get the idea across. Now with all the details and everything done up on the tank, we can now start getting the mounting solution for the tank done. And since this is a larger part than the sim battery boxes that we did the previous episode for this truck, I'm going to use 2 mounting tabs on the bottom, and then on the side of the tank I'm going to use 3 brass heat inserts. And if you're asking yourself, why didn't I leave these hollow and put something inside of them, or use them as a container, I should say. Big reason for that I didn't use them as a container is because since they're hanging below the frame, good candidates to get hit by things, and I don't want any electronics or anything like that getting ripped off the frame. So if it's just a visual piece that gets ripped off, oh well, not so bad if it being a visual piece, but if it was a visual piece with a functional parts inside of it, then that's bad. And one thing I just did, you seen, was do a recess into the tank. That is for the transfer case screws, because the transfer case bolts to the outside of the frame, and if these are mounted to the frame flush or flat, you'd have contact issues. So now with the tank fully designed, we can throw it out onto the printer and get a beautiful time lapse. Still having issues with my Milton Beagle Cam stopping prints, but luckily enough I was able to get this print without it acting up. Did have a thermistor issue with the printer, which was causing some of the troubles, but still having a small trouble with the Milton. But as you can see, this print turned out pretty darn good. Nice and clean. Once we get some body filler and everything and paint on it, you'll never see those print lines. Now we can get these bad boys mounted up onto the frame and make this truck a little bit more complete. And I have no idea what in the world happened here, but you can see that I pushed down on the nose of the cab to make sure it is mounted flat. I used the 2-sided tape that I put on the back of the boxes, and I'm doing this so that I can get one of the holes perfectly aligned up, so then there's no real guessing And then the jigs that I made up, I didn't show that due to the fact you see me do it once, you don't need to see me do it again. Don't need to bore you with that. So I used the actual part as a locating hole. Once I had the locating hole, I used the jigs. You'll see that here right away. And one thing I forgot to do, or didn't dawn on me, I had to remove the electronic tray. No biggie. But now with the electronic tray, you can see that I had the one hole pinned in with a screw, got it clamped down, drilled all the holes, and when I went to bolt the SIM battery box on, it was causing absolute collision. Like, it pushed the back of the fender in so much, like it was bad. I had to re-drill the holes for the battery boxes, and left me completely baffled that night, like, what in the world did I do wrong? But with the holes after drilled again, I was able to bolt everything up nice and tight once I had the SIM battery boxes re-drilled tight. And once everything was mounted up, I stepped back and was very pleased with the way it came out. The appearance of the truck, yeah, it added to that profile. Unfortunately, the night before going out to run the truck, I kind of had a rut, so I had to glue the roof on, as you can see here. But man, with the roof on, the fuel tanks on, and everything, wow, this truck's appearance is mean. But that's all I have for you guys this week. If you'd like to see this truck up and running on the trails, comment down below, give me a rate. Maybe if I have earned your subscribe, that'd be great. Have a good one, guys.